You're listening to The World and Everything in It from World Radio. And by now, you probably have heard something about Pokémon Go. It's a free virtual reality game for iPhones and Android phones that almost overnight has become an international craze. I've asked World Intern Ciera Horton to help demystify all of this for us. She joins me now from Orlando, Florida. And Ciera, tell us about Pokémon Go.
Pokémon Go is kind of like a scavenger hunt on your phone. So it allows users to see Pokémon characters, which are fantastical little creatures, on their screen as if they were here in the real world. Now, what makes it so intriguing is that users don't just sit around and play at home or on their couches. They actually have to go out and travel to a different geographic location to catch these characters on their screens.
And this new game has quite a built-in loyalty base right from the start because many millennials grew up playing Pokemon games on Game Boys or other devices, as we heard the young man mention a few moments ago.
Right.
And now they can play Pokemon out in the real world, so to speak. Is that the gist of it?
That is the gist of it. Pokemon was a famous video game franchise back in the 90s, and it was actually inspired by the Japanese hobby of bug catching. And so it was a huge hit over there, and then it became a hit internationally. But Thursday, it made its mobile comeback and is now a popular game to play on your smartphone.
Okay, when you say Thursday, you're talking about a week ago yesterday. So we have, in 8 days, we've gone from release of an app for a smartphone to a phenomenon. How did that happen so fast?
I know, it's crazy. It has just had major success. Many people are saying it's because the game feels more real and is interactive, and it's the kind of thing people wanted back in the 90s, to feel like these characters are here in our own world, but it has become a national and even an international phenomenon, and the app is also set to overtake Twitter with a higher number of daily users.
Now, Ciera, there's also some controversy and concern here over several things, one of them being that the app, the game, sometimes directs players to go to areas that they don't know well,
right.
And even sends them to such areas on foot after dark. Seems like there's a safety issue there.
Right. Well, the pro to this side of the game is that it gets people outside exercising, but the con is that it is sending you to locations you may not necessarily be familiar with. And the game also uses your GPS and clock. So there are different characters based on where you are and the time of day. So this can be sending people out at night to places they're not familiar with. There have also been issues of people going to private property trying to catch the Pokemon, or sneaking backstage at Disney World trying to catch the characters there. So we have had some issues. I think one of the biggest challenges will be people playing the mobile game even while driving. Big security hazard. But the real thing is, if users are responsible and smart, then the game will be safe, like any other piece of technology.
Now, as we were preparing for this segment, you mentioned to me that some churches have caught on to the Pokemon Go bandwagon and are using the game to try to attract people to their church buildings. How does that work?
Well, different geographic locations like famous buildings, landmarks, and even churches can be deemed a Pokestop. This is where a user would travel there to find rare items and catch the Pokemon. So churches have seen this as a chance to reach a younger crowd because they can make their building a Pokestop. So some advocates are recommending churches be proactive and draw the Pokemon to their building so that game users will want to go there. So people are telling churches to have greeters or snacks available so that young gamers will actually step foot inside a church. So who knows, this could be a new way to reach millennials through Pokemon.
All right, we'll have to see where all that goes. I will say I have my reservations. Ciera Horton is covering the Pokemon Go story for us. Thank you so much, Ciera.
Thank you, Joseph.
Pokemon!